Good morning, my plant-loving friends. Welcome to your Daily Plant Pulse, a podcast-styled series rooted in my deep fascination with plants. Here, plants go through a plant pulse research protocol where we uncover fascinating insights from scientific studies and share them with you. All studies I review are sourced in the description. I'm not a doctor, just someone who loves to research plants and present what I find. Our 9-part series takes you from an introduction to the plant through amazing studies and even an occasional bonus episode. Be sure to check out our Plant Pulse playlist where all of our episodes on all plants will be. And when a plant profile review is complete, explore our Living Library playlist for an in-depth consolidated review. We dig deep into history, forgotten studies, and untold stories so plants can have a voice and their story can be told. Welcome to episode 7, where we explore the many ways plants can be prepared and used. We'll focus on 3 key takeaways: diverse preparation methods, understanding potency and safety considerations. Keep an eye out for extensions. Plant use is always evolving, and updates will appear as 7.1, 7.2, and so on for various plant species. So let's get digging. Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating areas of herbal science: how traditional processing can actually change what your body absorbs. Dioscorea yams, especially species like Dioscorea villosa and Dioscorea alata, contain compounds called steroidal saponins, including the famous diosgenin, often discussed for hormone balance and inflammation support. But here's the catch. Most of the diosgenin in a raw yam isn't readily available. It's locked behind fibrous cell walls and complex glycoside bonds that our digestive systems can't easily break down. So today, we'll explore a hands-on method to help unlock more of it, using fermentation and a freeze-thaw cycle, techniques that can blend ancient food wisdom with modern biochemistry. So to start, we want clean, fresh yam roots. Wash them thoroughly to remove any soil, then peel them, slice them thin, about 1/8 of an inch, to create more surface area. You can use a dehydrator set to around 110 to 115 degrees Fahrenheit, 43 to 46 degrees Celsius, or an oven on its lowest setting with the door cracked slightly to release moisture. This low temperature drying is important. We're preserving delicate compounds like volatile oils and enzymes that higher heat can destroy. Be sure to check them frequently, especially if you're processing them in the oven, and turn them to ensure even drying. When the slices are completely dry and brittle, grind them into a fine powder using a clean coffee grinder or blender. This will be your base for fermentation. Now that we have our yam powder, we're going to introduce a little microbial magic. Fermentation can help break down the plant cell walls, freeing up compounds like diosgenin and making them potentially easier for your body to absorb. Here's how you do it. Mix powder with non-chlorinated water until it reaches a thick batter consistency, not too watery and not too dry. Add a mild acidifier like apple cider vinegar or a small pinch of citric acid to lower the pH and discourage spoilage. If you'd like to boost the process, you can add a starter culture such as a probiotic capsule, a spoon of yogurt, whey, or even a bit of kombucha liquid. Stir well and place it in a glass jar with a breathable cloth or fermentation lid. Let it sit at room temperature, ideally 65 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit, 18 to 24 degrees Celsius, for about 3 to 5 days. You'll start to notice small bubbles, a slightly tangy aroma, and maybe a bit of separation. All good signs that the microbes are doing their job. During fermentation, enzymes from the microbes begin breaking glycosides, those sugar-bound molecules that keep diosgenin locked away from our bodies being able to absorb them. That enzymatic activity may also transform other compounds into forms that are more bioavailable as well. This is the same principle used in foods like miso, tempeh, sauerkraut. And while formal studies on Dioscorea are still emerging, we've seen similar results in turmeric, soy, and green tea. and countless others. Next comes a surprisingly effective physical step that's traditionally long held in societies. It's a freeze-thaw cycle. So you would take your fermented yam mixture that's already partially had the enzymes broken down and freeze it solid. Ideally, you want to freeze to -4 Fahrenheit or -20 Celsius. Obviously, a regular freezer isn't going to get to those temperatures. So whatever low temperature you're able to achieve would be ideal. Now, once frozen, thaw it completely at room temperature and repeat this process 3 to 5 times. Each cycle forms crystals that expand inside plant cells, rupturing them and releasing trapped compounds. Think of it like nature's way of breaking down barriers without chemicals or heat. This combination of microbial and physical processing creates a gentle synergy. The microbes often digest, and that breaks the plant structure. The freeze-thaw cycles finish the job mechanically. After the final thaw, spread the mixture thin on parchment or dehydrator trays and dry it again at low temperature at around 110 degrees Fahrenheit until crisp. Then grind it back into a fine powder. Now you're going to want to store your finished powder in an airtight glass jar in a cool, dark place. Adding a desiccant packet can help prevent moisture buildup, especially if you're in a humid climate. Now that you've made your enhanced Dioscorea powder, how do you actually use it? You can incorporate it into an alcohol tincture, oil fusion, or water decoction, depending on your goals. Alcohol tends to extract steroidal saponins and diosgenin best, while water draws out more soothing starch-based compounds. If your goal is absorption, though, delivery method matters. One interesting option is using enteric capsules. Those are capsules coated to resist stomach acid and dissolve later in the small intestine, where diosgenin and other saponins are better absorbed. This helps protect the compounds from being degraded by stomach acid and ensures they reach the section of the gut where the absorption is more efficient. It's the same principle used in many modern supplements, getting the active ingredients past the stomach's harsh environment and into the bloodstream more effectively. Now, it's important to be clear. We don't yet know exactly how much fermentation and freeze-thawing increases diosgenin's bioavailability. Early research in related plants shows promising results, but definitive studies on Dioscorea are limited. What's encouraging is that these traditional low-tech processes are being validated across the food and herbal world, showing measurable boosts in nutrient release and antioxidant potential. That said, safety matters. Online sources of diosgenin or wild yam extracts can vary dramatically in purity and authenticity. Some imported powders may be adulterated, poorly processed, or contaminated with heavy metals or pesticide residues. By preparing your own from a trusted raw yam, you gain transparency and control. You know exactly what's going into your final product. This home-based method doesn't replace lab-verified extracts or medical advice, but it can give you a way to engage with the plant directly in a cleaner, more intentional way. That wraps up today's Plant Pulse, where we expand on remedies and walk away knowing we've grown in our ability to care for ourselves and others. What did you think about today's episode? Did we miss something we should have included? We'd love to hear from you. If you enjoy episodes that dive deep like this, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more. Thanks for joining our community, and until next time, let every moment bear fruit.